remember, coming in from Bihar, where it seems as if the JDU-BJP alliance may be in trouble. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, who hails from the JDU, it is to be believed, has asked for time to meet the Congress President Sonia Gandhi. Could this possibly mean a Congress-JDU tie-up in the cards? That's obviously the big question. My colleague Maria live with us this morning to bring us a lot more context on the story. Maria, over to you.
Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has sought time from Sonia Gandhi. So what does it actually mean in the context of Bihar? Remember, we can say it with certainty now that BJP-JDU alliance is heading for a split. Whether that split happens tomorrow when Nitish Kumar actually addresses the MLAs, MLCs and MPs of his political party, or it happens in the next 48 to 72 hours. But we can say it with certainty that Bihar is heading for a new government. What does it actually mean now? So what is an alternative for Nitish Kumar? Does he really have an exit plan? That are the big questions that are there on the table now. Can Lalu Yadav agree to do business with Nitish Kumar after Nitish walked out of the alliance in 2017 of Mahagathbandhan, and then he jumped ship and formed the government with the BJP? Several unanswered questions. For the moment, what we can say is that Nitish Kumar has sought time from Sonia Gandhi. Will Lalu Yadav trust Nitish? Well, sources in the RJD are also telling us that there has been some understanding. What is the nature of this understanding? That remains to be seen. If there is a formula that is being worked out that will require Nitish Kumar with his 43, 45 MLAs to come on board, along with 78, 79 of RJD, and then only a government will be formed. But the glue here certainly will be the Congress party. The axis that could emerge will be the three parties coming together, and of course, along with the CPI-ML, which did win a significant number of seats in 2017 2020 Bihar Assembly elections. But the developments that are happening in Bihar are moving very, very fast. So far, it was a crisis which was under the surface. Right. The tension between the JDU and the BJP was brewing and brewing for almost a few months now. But now that the crisis has played on the surface and the images that have emerged only yesterday, Toya. What has happened yesterday that we are seeing fast-paced development take place in the context of Bihar? Yesterday, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi was addressing and chairing the governing council meeting of Niti Aayog, which was attended by chief ministers of all states except KCR, because KCR boycotted it, having a different reason altogether, Nitish Kumar was another chief minister who was missing. Nitish Kumar skipping it was seen as a huge defiance, seen as a rebellion mode, Nitish Kumar. But at the same time, there was that image that emerged. The image was that Nitish Kumar was addressing the Handloom Day event organized by Bihar government. So these images clearly show that all is not well in the alliance. We can say it with certainty now that Bihar is heading for a massive political crisis. Can the BJP wait and watch? I'm not too sure about it, because the BJP is party number 2 in Bihar Assembly. It has more MLAs than Nitish Kumar. The question also is, can the former JDU president RCP Singh play a role now? Will he be able to really break some MLAs out of JDU, or does Nitish Kumar have an iron grip over his political party? Number of questions that remain unanswered. But for the moment, what we can certainly say is that Nitish Kumar has sought time from Mrs. Gandhi to really have a meeting. Whether that time will be given in the next 24 hours or later, but let's not forget that Congress will be doing business with Nitish only and only if he has support of Lalu Yadav. The question is, after that betrayal of 2007, will Lalu agree to do business again with Nitish Kumar in 2022?
Maria, quick follow-up question for you. Our audiences know BJP is obviously home to key strategizers like Amit Shah. What could possibly be running in the BJP headspace? They have 77, as you said, the second largest party in the assembly right now. What could possibly be going on right now in Camp BJP in Bihar?
Yes, so what sources in the BJP are telling us is that nobody really knows what Nitish Kumar is up to. And that is the image that Nitish Kumar as a politician has crafted and accidentally also developed. Because he walked out of one alliance, formed alliance, he for the BJP in 2013 and went ahead and contested, parliamentary elections in 2014 on his own. 2015, he formed an alliance, the Mahagathbandhan with Lalu Yadav and the Congress party. They won elections, formed the government. 2 years later, he walked out of alliance, and then he came back to the BJP, back into the BJP fold. And now sources are saying that he is perhaps tired and also of the opinion that there was a larger conspiracy to bring down the JDU numbers in 2020 assembly elections. The question is, why did he actually go ahead and form the government if he was actually, many saw him as a nominated chief minister rather than an elected one, because his numerical strength was really down. The BJP has reiterated time and again that as far as their alliance with the JDU is concerned, Nitish Kumar remains the face. That wo mukhiya hai is the word that has come from the BJP repeatedly. But the BJP also realizes that with Nitish Kumar around, they have not been able to manage or expand their footprints in Bihar. So BJP not expanding its footprints actually means that it has continued to play second fiddle. But in 2020 assembly elections, the equation between Nitish Kumar and the BJP changed drastically. It reversed because the BJP emerged as the big brother in this alliance, and Nitish Kumar's JDU was the second fiddle or the younger brother in this alliance. And that is the reason why they ensured that they get 2 deputy chief ministers' berth. But tension has been there in the alliance from the very beginning. So does it mean that Nitish Kumar's natural place is with the BJP, or is he heading for another kind of unnatural alliance with Mahagathbandhan partners such as the RJD and the Congress? The question also is, Atoya, that Lalu Yadav's RJD has been questioning Nitish Kumar's governance model for all these 2 years, because Tejasvi Yadav is the leader of opposition in Bihar Assembly. And Tejasvi Yadav, as the leader of opposition in Bihar Assembly, has sensed a political opportunity, seeing that Nitish Kumar, in many ways, did not really function as a functional chief minister. He had his limitations, and those limitations were apparent and pretty much on the surface. So,
Maria, let me just take some of these questions over now also to Pallavi. Sorry, we've kept her waiting for a little while. Pallavi Ghosh, our senior editor, is also with us right now. Pallavi, Maria was bringing us details right now. Part of what she was saying, you know, the Congress has 19 seats, the RJD has 80 seats. They're the biggest party in the Bihar Assembly. The news we're sharing with our audiences is that Sonia Gandhi and Nitish Kumar are likely to meet in a little while from now. Nitish Kumar has seek time. Can we assume that Sonia Gandhi would have by that point spoken already to Lalu Prasad Yadav and understood what the RJD wants here?
In fact, she's just dispatched off the state in charge of the Congress party, Bhakcharan Das, already to Patna to get a sense of what has been going on. See, Sonia Gandhi shared a very, very good equation with Lalu Prasad Yadav. So that channel of communication has always been kept open. And she also is going to be watching the developments in Bihar very closely. If they're able to form a government over there, and that is exactly what we were talking about, Toya, a short while back, the Congress party certainly would want to see that as sweet revenge. But this underscoring fact remains is a trust deficit. The Congress party does not trust Nitish Kumar. Previous overtures to him, you often find in a public space, the Congress party tweets and tells Nitish Kumar to come and join the opposition spectrum, has never evoked that equally warm response from that side. So the Congress is waiting and watching the situation very, very carefully. But naturally, they're going to take inputs from the RJD and also from their own party colleagues in the state. And I think Sonia Gandhi understands that very well. That it's all very well to want to form a government in the state, but the BJP should not also be undermined. And second, can we really trust Nitish Kumar? Because what would really backfire on them is an attempt to form a government, but not being able to form a government. So these are very, very close developments which are going to be watched by the Congress party.
Pallavi Ghosh and